Luke arm will allow for tactile sense. Remember Luke's arm from The Empire Strikes Back? Ever wonder if there was a way to develop the arm for amputees? At the University of Utah Center for Neural Interfaces is currently working on just that. A volunteer, Kevin Welcomett, is a volunteer for the... Yay! I'm going to do this. Yay, online editing. Fake news, fake news. Kevin Welcomett is a volunteer for the research project. He lost his left hand from a major electrical accident 17 years ago. Hi, Unchained. Welcome. Their goal is to improve the messages from the prosthetic to the brain for better tactile control and pressure sensing, being able to emulate human messages from the brain to the prosthetic. This would allow the user to have a sense of touch from the hand. We're changing the way we are sending that information to the brain so that it matches the human body, right? And by matching the human body, we were able to see improved benefits. Gregory Clark, Biomedical Engineering Associate Professor. The Luke arm has been in development for about 15 years and is mostly powered by an external battery attached to a computer. It is mostly metal parts and is encased in a silicone skin. Talk to the hand, Luke Skywalker. Yeah, it's the rest of this particular article is really interesting because the guy in the picture is helping to test this, and he explains what it feels like to be able to actually control the pressure in the hand, to be able to pick up something like an egg, to actually be able to touch different things and apply different pressure because of the impulses that are going to his brain from the prosthetic. It's all really cool sounding. I mean, really freaking cool sounding. I mean, I'm not going to go and get my arm chopped off just to get one of these arms, but still, it's really freaking cool. It's next level stuff. Oh, it's really cool. All right, let's see here. But lightsaber. You don't need to get your hand cut off to get a lightsaber, Mitch. All right, here we go. This has got a lot of science jargon in it, so bear with me. Scientists from the University of Cambridge and the State Serum Institute in Denmark have been conducting a research study since 2015 to find a correlation between androgens, estrogen, and autism. The findings in research was published July 29th in Molecular Psychology. It furthered and built on the research from over 20 years ago. Hubby! I'm in TMB chat. I believe I'm in the TMB voice chat. Yep, I am. Let me see. They first looked at and measured 4 prenatal steroid hormones in amniotic fluids from the Danish historic birth cohort and included 2 androgens. The results displayed higher quantities of androgen production in male fetuses. They admitted this could be one explanation as to why autism is more frequent in males than females. The most recent findings looked into levels of prenatal estrogen hormones, estriol, estradiol, estrone, and estrone sulfate. Taking the same samples from above, they came to the conclusion that estriol levels gave the highest risk of the child having or developing autism. Close behind were estriol and estrone. Estrone sulfate did not raise any autism risks. The next step in the research is to find the origin of the elevated hormone levels. So they're finding an answer. They're trying to find an answer. First, you got to isolate what's causing it, and then, you isolate how to, yeah. Now, the article also went on to say that this research is not meant to diagnose autism in the womb. It is actually, by the time they're finished, let's see, we'll now know why I'm autistic. The funny thing is, they said that this research is not meant to identify autism in fetuses that are still in the gestation period in the womb. It is meant to help prevent autism by, like they said, researching and finding the origin of the elevated hormone levels and keeping those hormone levels probably at, where they're supposed to be within normal levels to help prevent the autism. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this to see if any more results of the research comes out, because this is really, really interesting. And this...
I need 2 Luke arms and a lightsaber, please.
Yeah, you need 2 Luke arms and a lightsaber, please.
Yeah.
I figured you would pop in at that particular point. Because it's science.
Yes, because science.
Because science. You need them for science.
That's right.
Right. Science.
Scientific purposes.
Right.
I need the extra clickies and everything to do the boom booms.
You need the extra clickies to do the boom booms?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure Mitch would agree. I must agrees with Ronan. Lightsaber! All right. Archaeology student at Peruvian dig makes surprise discovery. Caroline Coolidge, a rising second-year archaeology student, was digging in a field school in San Jose de Muro, Peru, when she found something that startled her. A dusty, small face staring up at her. What she found was an intact piece of pottery. This was found at one of the oldest burial grounds for the Moche, a pre-Columbian civilization that was prominent along the north coast between the 1st and 8th century A.D. The face turned into a complete figurine, approximately 1,000 years old, which would place it in the transitional period between Moche and Lambayeque cultures. I had to slow down for that one. Coolidge stated, typically this type of artifact would be included in a burial, but there were no burials found near it. The field school is run by Luis Jaime Castillo Butters, professor of archaeology in Pontificia Universidad Católica and recently named Peru's Minister of Culture. Gary Urton, Harvard's Dumbarton Oaks Professor of Pre-Columbian Studies. They had a 5-week program where participants come to Peruvian archaeological sites and museums to learn the basics of documentation and analysis.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I have a question. Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
Does Professor Butters have a pet named Biscuit?
I don't know. But that was the one thing that got me when I was doing this last night on the stream when I was, highlighting to write the transcript. Yeah, Luis Jaime Castillo Butters. Why does the Butters part of the name sound like a nickname? I don't know, but when I was doing this last night on stream, somebody mentioned South Park. 'Cause Butters.
Oh, God.
'Cause Butters, I mean, that would be as bad as having somebody's name as Juan Carlos de Alva Smith. Yeah, Neil, that's the first thing I thought of as well, South Park. It's just...
Well, I do have some news.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to be home early.
You're not going to be home early.
No, hitting all this traffic coming out of the San Antonio area.
Oh, lovely.
I'm gonna be pulling up short here in Waco and taking a 10-hour break, then coming on in.
Okay, so you'll be here tomorrow.
At this rate, I'm
early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Okay.
Because, quite frankly, I've got just barely enough time right now to get to the train yard, but I wouldn't have any time to leave the train yard. Not doing that.
Okay, well, the last story in our science and health, brand-to-brand competition does not lower cost. After systematically reviewing studies from PubMed and EconLit from 1990 to April 2019, Amit Sarpatwari and her colleagues found a trend in regards to the prices of brand-name prescription medications. When comparing class to class, the competing medications did not lead to a drop in prescription medicine prices. In fact, the opposite was shown to be true. Amit Sarpatwari's study, published July 30th of this year in PLOS Medicine, which is an open source type magazine, showed a spending increase in prescription drugs and rising launch prices of new brand name drugs, which led to greater brand-on-brand competition. This trend of price increases, for the most part, followed the introduction of a new drug. Further research led to the conclusion that policies to promote this type of competition would more than likely not help to lower drug list prices. So,
the problem is, really and truly, when it comes down to the problem of drug prices, those people are not regulated enough.
No. Well, it's just
I understand it costs a great deal of money to research, develop, and perfect. Well, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, when the side effect of drugs is death,
right?
Coma, kidney failure, heart issues, and elevated risk for certain cancers and everything. This is not something, in my opinion, that should be marketed for human consumption.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
when the side effects are worse than what you're trying to treat, there's a fucking issue.
There is. And then you have, it's always been, since I have remembered it, a long-standing rule that once a new drug hits the market, no generics and no competing medications can be made of that for 10 years. So they can get their money back from R&D. And so there's 10 years of this medication that people can barely or not afford before a generic version comes out. Because they know as soon as a generic version comes out, people are going to jump all over that because it's cheaper. Neil, medication brands are weird. Brands have to be a certain amount of unique, which means each has a niche rather than competing. Only generics are similar to brands, and those are on a delay and still need different inactive ingredients. Neil, diarrhea treatment, drug, side effects, anal seepage, right? Yeah, the rule is kind of dumb, Lasaria. I agree.
My favorite one, personally, and everything, is the one for your eczema.
Yeah, Enbrel. For those of you that are new to the chat and stuff, there's this medication called Enbrel. Now they're marketing it for rheumatoid arthritis. When it first came out, they were marketing it for eczema and plaque psoriasis, which is what I have. And the first time I saw one of these commercials, and they went into the side effects, they said, one of the more severe side effects includes lymphoma. And I'm thinking, cancer? Itching. Somebody pass me the lotion. Because I'm good. I don't want to go from rashes and plaque psoriasis to cancer. I'd rather avoid the chance of cancer. Thank you very much. And what gets me about these psoriasis commercials is I've always been embarrassed about my plaque psoriasis and my eczema. I haven't. People used to point to the plaque psoriasis on my fingers and goes, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's psoriasis. Doesn't it hurt?" No, but it's free makeup effects for Halloween.